clips, like you see how like me and him was talking, and then somebody else talked like in his crew. That's what get me up. Like that's what made me like. I always want to prove to somebody that I'm.
Time is ticking, but it may be ticking for Lamont Roach faster than it is for all of us. Roach is about to step in the ring against an undefeated boxer with 28 knockouts, well known as the face of boxing, and the man who has beaten him before twice. And even if the psychological weight of facing Tank is not enough, Tank has been adding more fuel from his short word warnings.
Now I promise you, you better lead them home. You better lead the females home. On my mother, you better lead the females home and the kids. On my mother. Yeah, now watch this. Now watch.
Lamont Roach might be confident of his skills, saying all this does not threaten him. But deep down, he knows he might be the 29th KO on Tank's resume. And Tank made that clear in another morning from the recent press conference.
I say 9th round.
What?
I say 9th round.
You said 9th?
Yeah.
What's your response to that, Lamont?
Look, he got scared. Look. He looked at night.
I'm telling him, you saying you going down in a night?
While some boxing fans may not view this fight as a blockbuster event, there's an interesting number of insiders who believe Roach could be the perfect opponent to test Davis, known as the Reaper. Roach has built a reputation as a fighter who is capable of surprising his opponents with his power and skill, which Tank has even talked about. There's even talk that Roach could pull off a massive upset if that happens big, if it would send shock waves throughout the boxing world, further elevating Roach's career while putting a damper on Davis's final chapter.
Actually took this fight for the naysayers and all this and all that people talk about the fight. I think he actually took the fight because he know that I'm a dog, and he want to prove his skills against a dog. So I'm gonna show y'all what happens when two dogs get in the ring together.
This fight has not come together easily. There were numerous delays leading up to the announcement, which tested the patience of fans and fueled speculation that the fight might never happen. At one point, Davis even went so far as to announce that the fight had been canceled, much to the disappointment of boxing fans worldwide. However, things have since settled, and both fighters are now deep in preparation mode. They're training hard, focusing on their game plans and gearing up for what is shaping up to be one of the most highly anticipated bouts of the year. But even with the fight officially back on, Davis couldn't resist stirring up some heat. He just recently posted a cryptic message on X that left fans worried and confused.
Little big bro coming out with the upset. A lot of people are going to pick Tank going into that fight, but how do you see that playing out?
I see my brother walking out victorious. There's no doubt, not because that's my brother, but because I've seen him.
Davis's post on X read, "Fighting for my life." Those 4 words immediately caught the attention of his millions of followers, setting off a storm of speculation. What exactly did he mean by that? Was he talking about a personal struggle, such as mental health issues? Or was he referring to the intensity of his training camp and how much this fight means to him? The ambiguity left fans scrambling for answers. During the recent press conference leading up to the fight, Davis shed a little light on what he's been going through. He opened up about how the demands of boxing have taken a toll on his mental well-being. "Boxing's been my life, but it's weighing heavy on me. Now I'm thinking more about my family than the ring these days," he admitted. For years, Davis has been seen as one of the toughest fighters in the game. But even the strongest champion have their breaking points. His honesty struck a chord with many fans who understand just how much pressure comes with being at the top of the sport.
It's overall been something that he's not been in the ring with. I'm the total package, and honestly, sometimes I think he doubts himself. But I'm a competitor, and I feel like I'm the best. So I'm assured.
When he talks about you not bringing your family, what goes through your mind when you hear him say that?
In the hours following his cryptic post, DDAF's social media comments were flooded with messages from concerned fans. One fan wrote, "That sounds scary," capturing the general unease that many felt after seeing the tweet. Another fan tried to offer encouragement, writing, "Keep fighting, champ," in hopes of lifting Davis's spirits. These types of supportive comments have become common whenever Davis shares something deeply personal, as his fan base has developed a close bond with him over the years. They've witnessed his highs and lows and are now rallying behind him once again. Hey, get another fan echoed what many were thinking, writing, damn, that's cryptic. The vagueness of Davis's message left a lot of room for interpretation, and many fans couldn't help but wonder what he was really trying to say. Was it a warning that something was wrong? Or was it just a reflection of his determination to give his all in this fight? Whatever the case, fans were left on edge, eager for more information. One fan showing genuine concern for Davis's well-being wrote, "Stay safe, champ," followed by a second comment, "Keep going." Despite all the speculation, Davis didn't let the conversation linger in uncertainty for too long. Shortly after posting his cryptic message, he shared another update 4 weeks away. This short and direct statement seemed to indicate that Davis was fully focused on the upcoming fight. Whatever emotional or mental hurdles he may be dealing with, he appears ready to channel that energy into his performance in the ring. This fight carries added significance because Davis has already announced that 20,125 will be his final year in the sport. That means every fight from now on is part of his farewell tour. Fans are expecting Davis to go out on a high note, and he seems determined to leave behind a legacy that cements his place among the greats.
Lamont Roach is a terrific fighter. He might be a little over his head with Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis is, to say the least, he's a beast. He really is. He's a tremendous fighter.
The tension between Davis and Lamont Roach reached a boiling point during the press conference for the fight. As the two fighters traded verbal jabs, Davis suddenly exploded with an intense warning directed at his opponent. "I will tear you apart," he shouted, making it clear that he has no intention of taking this fight lightly. This outburst wasn't just trash talk, it was a declaration of war. Roach, however, was not intimidated. "You've been running scared for months. Now it's time to back those words up." Roach responded with equal intensity. The exchange showcased just how personal this fight has become. Davis, known for his fiery temperament, is clearly feeling the pressure, but Roach is determined to prove that he's not just another name on Davis's resume.
Wrestling fight, you know what I'm saying? Because Roach he come to fight. I think it's a great fight. Everybody talking all that stuff about, why Roach? Because he signed and took the fight, you know what I'm saying? And it's good for the community.
The press conference ended without any physical altercations, but the verbal battle left a lasting impression. Fans and analysts are now more excited than ever to see how this fight will play out. Will Davis's anger translate into a dominant performance, or will Roach use that emotion against him? The mental game is just as important as the physical one, and both fighters are playing it to perfection. Throughout his career, Davis has built a loyal fan base that has stood by him through thick and thin. They've seen him rise to fame with knockout victories and watched as he navigated personal struggles outside the ring. This latest saga is just another chapter in Davis's complex story, and his fans
beat his ass for y'all talking. For real. I better be quiet.
I don't give a fuck if y'all was
all that
quiet,
ski
y'all
mask
if
and
y'all
all
was
that.
loud.
They got the whole hood over there.
One fan expressing confidence in Davis's ability to overcome any obstacle wrote, "Tank's been through worse. He'll come out of this stronger." Another added, "This fight's going to be special. You can see it in his eyes." These comments reflect the deep connection that Davis has with his fans. They don't just see him as a boxer. They see him as a fighter in every sense of the word. With less than 4 weeks until fight night, anticipation for the bout is heating up. The battle is set for March 1st at Barclays Center in Brooklyn, and both fighters are ramping up the intensity. Training videos and bold statements have only added fuel to the fire. However, despite all the hype, not everyone is convinced this fight will deliver what fans truly want. Could it be
able to solve Tank Davis? What do you need to do together with you and your team and obviously your son to score that victory?
We got a game plan. We're going to execute it, and we're going to get the
Move
results.
that head, bob and weave.
Lamont Roach Jr. recently made waves with his confident prediction of an upset after Premier Boxing Champions posted a promotional clip of Davis on Instagram. Roach reshared it with the caption, "Upset alert." This bold claim has stirred up debate in the boxing community. Roach's record stands at an impressive 25-1 with 10 Ks, and while he's earned respect in the super featherweight division, he has yet to face an opponent of Davis's caliber. Roach's TKO victory over FALMCC demonstrated his ability to dominate in the ring, But facing Davis at lightweight is a different challenge altogether. Many fans view Davis as a knockout machine, with his most recent victory coming via an 8th round, been consistent for over a decade, and few fighters have managed to survive the full distance against him. Despite these odds, Roach seems undeterred. His confidence has sparked questions about whether he knows something the rest of the world doesn't. Could his team have identified a weakness in Davis's style or conditioning? Or is Roach simply trying to get inside Davis's head? A training clip of Davis recently surfaced online showing him working on his hand speed with trainer Patrice Buharis. While the video quickly went viral, the reactions were mixed. Some fans praised Davis's rapid uppercuts and intensity, while others expressed disappointment. Critics pointed out that Davis appeared slower than usual, with some even suggesting—
I can't even see who it is. Yeah. Who is the dude? Who is the dude?
That right there is why.
There was also backlash against the fight itself. Many fans questioned why Davis was facing Roach instead of taking on bigger names like Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, or Vasyl Lomachenko. One vocal fan commented, "This isn't the fight we wanted. Tank should be challenging himself, not taking easy fights." One key factor in this matchup is the weight difference. Gervonta Davis is a natural lightweight, while Roach competes in the super featherweight division. Moving up in weight could put Roach at a disadvantage, as Davis is known for his power and ability to absorb punches. However, Roach's speed and agility could help neutralize Davis's strengths. If Roach can avoid Davis's power shots and control Gervonta Davis is no stranger to criticism, but the pressure is mounting for him to take on more challenging opponents. Fans want to see him in marquee matchups against fighters like Stevenson, Haney, or Keeson Davis. Anything less feels like a missed opportunity. With Davis in the prime of his career, every fight counts, and fans are growing tired of matches that feel more like placeholders than genuine tests. That said, it's worth considering whether Davis's camp is playing the long game by keeping Davis active with fights like this. They may be preserving his longevity in the sport. Still, boxing is as much about legacy as it is about wins, and Davis's legacy won't be cemented until he faces the best of the best.
Would you be content if you won this and that's your last fight? Or nah, it's still some more heads you gotta put on the wall?
Yeah, it's definitely some more heads to put on the wall, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
For Lamont Roach Jr., this fight is the opportunity of a lifetime. A victory over Gervonta Davis would catapult him into superstardom and open the door to bigger paydays and title opportunities. Roach's confidence, combined with his solid boxing fundamentals, makes him a dangerous opponent. If he can weather Davis's early onslaught and take the fight into the later rounds, anything is possible. Kenny Ellis, Gervonta Davis's coach, made it clear that he stands behind his fighter's choice to face Lamont Roach Jr. for the WBA lightweight title defense. Ellis has faced backlash for defending the matchup, which many fans criticize as another example of Tank avoiding high-risk fights. While Ellis praised Roach's matchup, Ellis insists Roach is a tough, skilled fighter. But some fans aren't buying it. One of Ellis's key points is Roach's amateur pedigree. According to him, Roach is a 7-time national champion, which is impressive on paper. However, that amateur success hasn't fully translated to the professional level. Roach's record is respectable, but not stellar. His loss to Jamal Herring a few years back and a razor-thin win over Hector Luis Garcia, a fighter Tank knocked out with ease, raised serious questions about Roach's ability to compete at Tank's level. Critics argue that Ellis might be inflating Roach's reputation to make the fight seem more competitive than it actually is.
I'm gonna let y'all know something. His father was up here shaking on the what's the name? He was shaking on the
Thank everybody that played a part in it. My team, Roberto Diaz, Gary Jonas.
On my kids, he was shaking on his hand. On my kids, he was shaking. How you gonna say it's cap? It gotta be gonna say it's cap. I'm watching it.
Fans aren't just frustrated with the choice of Roach. They're fed up with a pattern throughout his career. Tank has often been accused of fighting opponents who are smaller, less powerful, or simply not on his level. Critics say Tank should be facing top-tier lightweights like Andy Cruz, Raymond Morala, William Zappa, Edwin Delos, Santos, Floyd Scofield, and Keen Davis. Many of these fighters have called out Tank or expressed interest in a fight. Ellis, however, insists that Tank isn't ducking anyone, suggesting that other fighters price themselves out or turn Tank down. Yet fans aren't convinced. After all, Tank is a superstar in the sport, and there's no shortage of boxers who would jump at the opportunity to share the ring with him.
Lamont Roach, but when you look at Shakur Stevenson, when you're looking at these other fights that he should really be fighting, he don't want to do them fights. He wants to retire.
Yeah.
So don't come and but don't come and come at me and go, oh.
As Ellis's comments about the sparring history between Tank and Roach also raise eyebrows. He mentioned that the two fought and sparred several times as amateurs, with Tank coming out on top. Ellis seems to downplay the importance of sparring sessions and insists that Tank's past opponents often claim to have bested him in sparring, only to lose decisively on fight night. But bringing up these old sparring stories does little to excite fans about this matchup. It may even reinforce the idea that Tank's team is looking for familiarity and safety over real challenges. Ellis also touched on Tank's mindset heading into this fight, equal sign. He claimed that Tank just loves to fight and doesn't care whether Ellis seemed indifferent when discussing the possibility of fights against Shakur Stevenson or Lomachenko, saying, if those guys choose to fight him one day, they can get it. If not, life goes on. This casual attitude is frustrating to fans who want to see Tank take on legacy-defining fights. Ellis's remarks suggest that they're content with keeping Tank busy, rather than pushing him toward greatness. Some fans and analysts believe Kenny Ellis is simply trying to sell a fight nobody really wants. If Ellis were honest about the fan backlash, it might show they're aware of the criticism. Instead, he's leaning heavily on Roach's amateur accolades and making excuses about other fighters not being available to some. This comes off as